What an absolutely amazing start to this year of 2021. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Touchdowns to Home Runs. Happy New Year. What a way to start off the new year with an amazing game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Oh my gosh, that was just exactly what we needed as college football fans to start off this season. An absolutely amazing game between these two teams to lead us up until the playoff game that is just coming up in the next couple minutes. Man, I feel bad for Cincinnati, but that was just such a good football game that you hate to see a team lose that game, especially a team like Cincinnati that has been the underdog all season. That's been that group of five team that's trying to fight into getting maybe a playoff spot or get some more respect on the group of five teams. But man, amazing fight by them. Congrats to Luke Fickell and them for having an absolutely amazing season. But the Georgia Bulldogs, guys, if you love college football as much as I do, definitely do not forget to drop a sub down below. But we're just here to let's break this game down because that was absolutely unbelievable what we just witnessed. Podlinski with the amazing kick at the end. That was a far kick, able to nail that. What a kick. What a game. I'm just going to keep saying it. What a game. Let's break down some of the stats. Starting off with the starting quarterbacks in this game. JT Daniels went 26 for 38 for 392 yards, one touchdown, one interception. That's a lot of yards for JT Daniels. 392. That's a really good performance. One touchdown, one interception. Obviously, I expected a bit of a better game from JT Daniels. I expected this to be a bit of a more higher scoring game than just 22-21, but it is what it is. JT Daniels, an amazing game from him, made the nice, smart decisions to be able to go out and win this game. But that was just an absolutely, not even 22-21. The final score is 24-21 because Georgia just ended the game on a safety. Amazing game. Let's look at Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder went 24 for 37, 206 yards, 5.6 average, threw for 2 touchdowns. Rushing-wise, the reason Cincinnati was able to stay in this game the whole time and be able to make this game close was Cincinnati's defensive line played so good against this Georgia rushing game. Georgia only rushed for 45 yards. Like, this is a team that you've seen rush for over 300 yards in some games. This Cincinnati defensive line was able to hold them to only 45 yards in this game. Absolutely phenomenal by them. They got to JT Daniels so much in this game. They were able to get so much pressure on him. This Cincinnati defensive line is really, really an elite defensive line. And I kind of overlooked them going into this game. I had Georgia winning by a bit of a bigger margin than what they did by, but I thought Cincinnati was going to win this game for a majority of the game. Like, this was a very, very well-fought game. Cincinnati rushed for 101 yards in total. Jerome Ford was their leading rusher, 8 carries for 97 yards. Obviously had the big 79-yard touchdown to open up the second half. That was a crazy way to start off the second half. Like, this game, from the kickoff all the way to the end, it was absolutely unbelievable. Looking at some of the receiving stats, George Pickens, a guy who's been disappointing this season for the Georgia Bulldogs, a guy that with the opt-out of Jamar Chase going into the season for the SEC was supposed to be the premier wide receiver in the SEC, George Pickens. He had a rough start to the season. He's played a lot better in his last couple games. He went 7 receptions for 135 yards, 1 touchdown, by far the best game of his season this season. Arian Smith, 1 reception, 55 yards. Kyrus Jackson, who is the leading receiver for the Georgia Bulldogs, went 3 receptions for 47 yards. Donnell Washington, 3 receptions for 46 yards. Let's look at Cincinnati. You got Michael Young Jr. going 4 receptions, 59 yards. Josh Wiley going 3 receptions for 35 yards. Pierce going 3 for 28. It was a really, really good game on both sides of the ball. Lots of just good quality play. There wasn't really any mistakes. The only really mistake that I can think about that didn't even come up as being a huge mistake in this game was the that targeting call on the offensive lineman that he just went in there and just nailed. I can't remember who it was for Georgia, but absolutely just nailed him for no reason and actually got targeting because he went up in the head. That's the first time that I've ever seen an offensive lineman getting kicked out of the game for targeting. But there were a lot of turnovers in this game. You had Kobe Smith getting the 1 interception early, and there was a couple of fumbles in this game. Let's break down the team stats in this game. The turnover battle was Georgia had 2 turnovers. Cincinnati had 1 turnover. Third down efficiency. Georgia only converted 1 for 11 on third down. That is absolutely insane for the Cincinnati defense. Again, a defense that has been one of the better defenses in all of college football all season. 1 for 11 against the Georgia Bulldogs on third down. Absolutely outstanding job there. Cincinnati went 3 for 14, so that was an amazing job by the Georgia Bulldogs defense as well to get a really good game. Ojulari just destroyed for the Georgia defensive line in this game. He was absolutely unbelievable all game long. Like, he was getting after Desmond Ridder the whole game. I'm pretty sure he got a strip sack fumble, so that was huge for Georgia to get the ball back into their hands. Absolutely amazing game. You look at some of the other stats in this game. Like rushing yards, very limited. I already talked about it. 99-45. Cincinnati was able to outrush Georgia in this game, which actually really, really surprised me. What else you got here? First downs, 19-16 for Georgia. Total yards, 449 for Georgia, 305 for Cincinnati. I really feel for this Cincinnati football team because they worked their butts off in this game. That was a very, very hard-fought game the whole way through. I give a round of applause to the Cincinnati fans. I heard tons and tons and tons of Cincinnati fans in that game for the Bearcats. Like, every time something would happen for them, that stadium got loud. For a stadium that only had 19,000 fans, it got pretty loud in there, especially in a game where you're going up against Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the College Football Hall of Fame. So college football lives and breathes through Georgia, and you're able to go in there and still put your fan base traveled. Kudos to them. That was an amazing job by the fan base to really get some fans in that game because when you have Georgia at home in Georgia, it could get pretty loud in there. So kudos to the Cincinnati Bearcats fans for that game. Cincinnati deserved a lot more respect than they got this season, especially going up. Like, Georgia's probably the third best team in the SEC right now, maybe second depending on where you put them lined up against Texas A&M because you have Florida has been very, very weak lately. Obviously, they get smacked by Oklahoma. They lose to Alabama. They lose to LSU, so they're on a 3-game losing streak. I think that the team that we saw in Florida that went up against Georgia back in November, I'm pretty sure, is a lot different of a team than we saw now from Florida. Obviously, in that Oklahoma game, you had tons of receivers missing. All of Kyle Trask's best 4 wide receivers or receivers, tight ends, were all gone in that game. So Cincinnati went toe-to-toe with a very, very, very good Georgia football team, and you have to give credit to them. But the SEC is now 1-1, or what are they? They'll be 1-2 unless Auburn is able to come back. It's the end of the third quarter right now, 21-13 for Northwestern right now, who Northwestern is also a very good football team. So the SEC is currently 1-1 in bowl games. Maybe 1-2, and hopefully be able to push it to 2-2 by the end of this Alabama Notre Dame game, which is coming up just now. I'll also be covering that game. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Like the video down below. Definitely hit that sub button. Comment anything about college football. Thank you for watching, and come back next time.